It is 3 a.m. You are asleep. And then you feel it. Not a sound. Not a touch. Just a slow, certain weight of being watched. You open your eyes, and there it is. Your dog, perfectly still, staring directly at your face. Most people assume, needs water, heard something, wants out. Here is what the science actually says. What your dog is doing at 3 in the morning is one of the most neurologically complex behaviors ever documented between two different species. It is the visible surface of a bond 15,000 years in the making. And by the end of this video, that stare will mean something completely different to you. And most people who own a dog have no idea this is happening every single night. But here is the part that will really get you. There is one finding, buried in a 2024 study, that suggests your dog is not just sleeping beside you, it is actively changing your biology while you sleep. We will get to that. Stay with me. In the 1970s, a psychologist named Mary Ainsworth designed a test that changed how we understand human love. She called it the strange situation. A mother brings her baby into an unfamiliar room. Then she leaves. A stranger enters. Then the mother returns. Researchers watch what the baby does at every stage. What they are measuring is the attachment bond, how the baby uses the mother as a safe base, how it reacts to being left, how it recovers when she comes back. Decades later, researchers asked a question that most people in psychology considered absurd. What if we ran the exact same test on dogs? The results were not subtle. Dogs form attachment bonds with their owners that are functionally identical to the bond between a human infant and its mother. The same proximity seeking, the same distress when separated, the same calm the moment the person returns. 61% of dogs tested were classified as securely attached. Almost exactly the same proportion found in human children across every culture studied. Let that sit for a moment. When your dog chooses your bed, it is not being clingy. It is not poorly trained. It is performing the most fundamental act in all of attachment psychology, seeking its safe person at the moment of greatest vulnerability. You are not just its owner. To that animal, you are its entire sense of security in the world. And that is only the beginning, because the psychology is just the surface layer. Underneath it, something biochemical is happening that no one expected. In 2015, researchers at Asabu University in Japan published a study in Science, one of the most respected journals in the world. They measured a single molecule in 30 dogs and their owners during ordinary interaction. That molecule was oxytocin, the bonding chemical, the one that floods a mother's brain the first time she holds her newborn. The same one released between people who love and trust each other. Here is what they found. When a dog looks at its owner, and the owner looks back, both experience a simultaneous rise in oxytocin, across species. In real time, the dog's levels rise. The owner's levels rise too, which makes the dog want to hold the gaze longer, which releases more oxytocin, which pulls the owner in further, which makes the dog look more. It is a loop. A self-reinforcing biochemical loop that no other animal on Earth shares with humans. Then the researchers tried the same experiment with wolves. Wolves raised by humans from birth, socialized, handled, loved by people their entire lives. The loop did not activate. At all. This is not a general mammal response. This evolved specifically between dogs and humans across thousands of years of living together. And here is what most people miss. Physical contact amplifies the loop dramatically. 10 minutes of petting your dog drops measurable levels of cortisol, your stress hormone, in both of you at the same time. Now imagine 8 hours of sleeping together. Something is happening in that bed that goes far deeper than comfort. And the history of how it started is stranger than most people realize. When did humans and dogs first start sleeping together? Almost from the very beginning, the dog is the only animal domesticated before agriculture, before livestock, before cities, before the wheel. Around 15,000 years ago, the least fearful wolves began drifting toward human camps, drawn by fire, by warmth, by scraps. The wolves that did not run were the ones that survived. They passed that trait forward. Generation by generation, they stopped being wolves entirely. But here is the discovery that changes everything. In Germany, archaeologists found a burial site 14,000 years old. 2 humans interred side by side, and 2 dogs buried with them. One of those dogs had survived a severe case of distemper, an illness that kills within 3 months. The bone evidence showed this animal had been critically ill for more than 5 weeks. And it had survived, because someone took care of it. Someone, 14,000 years ago, chose to feed and nurse a sick dog instead of leaving it behind. These were not tools. They were family. And scientists found the proof written inside their DNA. Your dog was literally rewired at the genetic level to need you. Wolves do not carry this change. Only dogs. Every single one of them. A biological drive to seek closeness with humans, baked into their code across thousands of generations. When your dog climbs into your bed tonight, it is not doing something unusual. It is fulfilling 15,000 years of biological programming. But here is where it gets genuinely strange. Because what that closeness does to your body while you sleep, that part nobody was prepared for. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic tracked the sleep quality of 40 adults and their dogs over 7 full nights. Clinical devices on both, not most of them. Not the ones with small dogs. Every single one. How is that possible? A researcher at Canisius College surveyed close to 1,000 women and found that dogs were consistently rated as less disruptive than human partners. More reliable, more constant. Her follow-up study found the mechanism. People woke briefly each time the dog moved, but almost never remembered it by morning. The interruptions were physically real. The sense of security was stronger. Because here is the truth that sleep science keeps arriving at. The psychological benefit of sleeping next to a trusted presence, something warm and breathing that your nervous system registers as safe, may matter more to actual restoration than perfect, uninterrupted silence. For nearly all of human history, we slept in groups. The solo bedroom is a modern invention, an anomaly, not the default. Your dog is not ruining your sleep. Your dog may be correcting something in you that modern life quietly broke. But everything we have talked about so far is nothing compared to what happens when you actually fall asleep. This is the finding I mentioned at the beginning, the one that changes the entire picture. A 2024 study from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland monitored something called heart rate variability in 30 bonded dog owner pairs across 6 different situations. Across every single condition in the study, dogs and their owners showed correlated patterns. Their nervous systems were moving together. When the owner was calm, the dog was calm. When the owner was stressed, the dog's internal state shifted in response. And the synchronization was strongest during rest. Then the researchers tested the same protocol with dogs and complete strangers. Nothing. No synchronization at all. This only happens between bonded pairs, which means sleeping next to your dog is not metaphorically intimate. It is literally a neurological event. 2 nervous systems from 2 entirely different species, spending the night actively regulating each other. You are not just sharing a bed. You are sharing a biological state. Every single night. And when that stops, that is when you need to pay attention. This may be the most important minute of this entire video. If your dog has slept beside you for months or years, and one day simply stops, do not explain it away. Dogs are built on habit. When a deeply established behavior disappears, there is always a reason. Sometimes it is environmental. A new animal in the house. A change in your routine. Something you consider minor can feel tectonic to an animal that reads its world through consistency. But sometimes it is physical. Veterinary researchers have identified a change in sleeping location as one of the earliest detectable signals of pain in dogs. It appears before limping, before stiffness, before any symptom you would notice on your own. A dog that stops jumping onto the bed may not prefer the floor. It may hurt too much to jump. And in older dogs, disturbed sleep patterns are the primary early symptom of canine cognitive dysfunction, the dog equivalent of dementia. It affects an estimated 35% of dogs over the age of 8. Your dog has no language. Behavior is the only vocabulary it has. When the ritual changes, it is trying to tell you something. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. and you feel something watching you, just remember what is actually happening in that moment. Your dog chose you, not the couch, not the warm corner by the heater, not the soft rug 3 feet away, you. Because 15,000 years of evolution, a biochemical loop no other species shares with us, and a bond that mirrors the connection between parent and child, all point to one thing. Sleeping beside you is the safest place that animal has ever known. And maybe it is the same for you, because your nervous system was never designed to be alone in a silent room. And the animal pressed against your legs at 3 in the morning, maybe giving you back something ancient, something your body still remembers, even when you don't. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. and your dog is staring at you, just remember this: it's not watching you, it's choosing you again.